So that was the last 8 of the standard tune I Thought About You, written by Jimmy Van Heusen. I'm going to play it again, except for this time I'm going to add an ending to it, the Lydian or the sharp 4 ending. So that ending sounds so good, and it's very effective because it does 2 things any good ending should do. It surprises the listener by deceptively resolving the dominant chord, in this case from the 5 to the sharp 4, instead of the 5 to the 1. I'll talk a little bit about that later. And it adds some interesting harmony along the way to the eventual resolution of the tonic. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you 2 things. I'm going to show you how to learn to play this ending, and I'm going to show you how to use it in a tune. So let me break the ending up into 3 parts to show you how each works. First, I'm going to replace the 1 chord with the Lydian chord. So let me give you some background here. Most tunes start and end in the same key, and in the middle of the tune they go through various keys. They usually return to the home key, the 1 chord, in the last 2 or 4 measures of the tune, and they arrive at the 1 chord from the 5 chord. And this is true in this tune. This is the last 8 that I played in the introduction. Here's the 2 chord, and here's the 5 chord. That resolves to the 1. So the key, the tune is in F, and like I said, in the 3rd measure from the end, there's the 5 chord. That's part of the 2-5-1. So what I'm going to do to use this ending is I'm going to swap that 1 chord with the Lydian chord. So normally it would end like this, 5 to 1. But for this ending, I'm going to go 5 to the Lydian chord. Remember, Lydian means sharp 4. In this key, F, 1, 2, 3, 4 is B sharp, 4 is B flat, sharp 4 is B natural. So I'm borrowing this chord from the Lydian mode. The quality is going to be minor 7, flat 5. And this is what makes this ending work, the deceptive resolution of the 5 chord to this sharp 4 chord. We're so conditioned to hear a 5 chord go to a 1 chord that when it doesn't, we're surprised or deceived, and this is what a deceptive resolution is. It's when the 5 chord resolves to anything but the 1 chord. As a hint here, you can explore lots of different ending possibilities by trying to resolve the 5 chord to other chords. For instance, or for instance. So that was the hard part. The second step is to add simply 4 chromatically descending minor 7th chords. So I'm going to play 4 minor 7th chords descending chromatically in half notes. It's going to be like this. So in F, the sharp 4 is the B minor 7 flat 5. And then the chromatically descending minor 7th chords will be B flat minor 7, A minor 7, A flat minor 7, G minor 7. Remember, once you have the first chord, the first Lydian chord, each chord in this whole ending is chromatic, so each chord descends by half step, which makes it easy to remember this ending. So the last two chords are a different quality. We just added 4 minor 7 chords, and the last two chords are different. A dominant 7th and a major 7th. So moving chromatically, I'm going to add the G flat 7 and the tonic chord F major 7. It's going to look like this in notation, and it's going to sound like this. Two quick things about these chords. The G flat 7 is the sub 5 of the key. That stands for substitute dominant, and then we resolve to the 1 chord. Notice also that the 1 chord has the sharp 11 extension on it, which is also borrowed from the Lydian mode. So this is the ending. There's 3 parts to it. Replace the tonic with the Lydian chord. The Lydian chord, and then add 4 minor 7th chords descending in half step. And then a sub 5, a dominant chord, and then the tonic chord with the sharp 11 extension on it. Notice I added 2 measures to the end of the tune with this ending. So it can be considered an extended ending since it does add some measures on the end of it. So pause the video now and take a quiz on building this ending. Okay, so we've talked about how to build the ending. Let's see this ending in action. Remember, the ending works best with standard tunes. Also, it only works on major key tunes. It doesn't work in minor. And it works particularly good on ballads. So let's pick a tune, Misty, for instance. Here's the last 8. This has the same structure as I Thought About You. The last chord is the tonic chord. In this case, it's an E flat. And it's arrived at by a 2-5-1 in E flat. And the measure before it. So to add the ending to this tune, remember the 3 steps. I'm going to add the Lydian chord in place of the tonic, the 1 chord, the E flat. So Lydian in E flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. A flat is 4, sharp 4 is A. And that's going to be A minor 7 flat 5. It's also easy to think that the Lydian chord is just a half step down from the 5 chord. So I replaced the tonic with the sharp 4 minor 7 flat 5, A minor 7 flat 5, and then I add my descending 7th chords to a sub 5, and then the 1 chord. And the sub 5 and the 1 chord are going to look like this. So to add some variety to this ending, in addition to altering the quality of the 1 chord, I could play a 6-9 voicing instead of adding the Lydian all the time. You can also fool around with the rhythm of the chords. That's a common rhythm to use. But the biggest caveat with this ending is to use it sparingly. Once or twice on a gig, if that, it can be overdone very quickly. So just use it really once or twice. So in this lesson, I've showed you how to build the Lydian ending. There are 3 steps to follow. Replace the 1 chord with the Lydian chord. Add 4 chromatically descending minor 7th chords, leading to a sub 5 and a 1 chord. So now it's your turn to practice this ending. Click on the practice sessions link in the blue title bar above. Download the practice sessions. Print it, take it to the piano, follow the instructions. If you're not quite ready for the sessions, remember you can watch the video again and again as many times as you want. Take the quiz a couple times. It's different each time. If you want a more basic lesson, try one of these, and if you want to move on, here's the next lesson. You can also inquire about personalized lessons via webcam or correspondence lessons on CD, DVD by clicking the question mark as well. So have fun using this ending.